Live from KTUL, you're watching Good Morning Oklahoma at 5.
Breaking news this morning, 3 homicide cases in 24 hours. The latest, a deadly shooting in North Tulsa, and we're live with details.
Stepping down, an Oklahoma senator expected to give up his position in the coming days. What else is in store for Ralph Shorty? Happening today, the man accused of gunning down his neighbor in a hate-filled rage is scheduled to be in court. What lawyers will be arguing in his case?
Good Tuesday morning. Back to school for Tulsa County Public Schools from spring break, and it's going to come with a little bit of smoke and haze in the air this morning as you walk out the door. Not quite as warm as yesterday, still not jacket weather, those 66 in Tulsa, and the wind a little bit light out of the east right now at about 6 miles per hour. We're going to be dealing with the smoke and the haze throughout the morning hours, and fire danger is still pretty elevated across the area. We'll talk through the details of the forecast in just a few minutes.
And back to that breaking news, firefighters investigating a trailer fire near Independence in North Utica. We have a live picture right now. As you look at the scene, police are telling us just a few minutes ago they discovered a body inside that trailer. We are working to get more information for you. Look for it at KTUL.com. Also breaking this morning, Tulsa police investigating the 3rd homicide in 24 hours. A man now dead in North Tulsa, gunned down outside a pizza restaurant near North Peoria and Pine on North Quincy.
And Channel 8's Lauren Partain spoke to police overnight. She joins us now with the very latest. Lauren?
Police say they got several calls within minutes of each other about this shooting. When they got to the scene, they say they found a 31-year-old man had been shot 3 to 4 times while driving his car. Based on the bullets and shell casings around the area, police believe there were 3 shooters. Now there was also another victim who ran into the Little Caesars on Peoria around the corner, saying he had been shot. When police got there, they say that person had ran away. Officers are still trying to figure out if he is connected to the original shooting.
That's the theory, is that the individual that showed up at the business on Peoria is somehow connected to this. We're not sure how. We don't know if he was with the individual, the victim, or if he was just a bystander. We do have officers trying to locate that individual right now.
Not only is this the 3rd homicide in one day, it's also Tulsa's 17th homicide this year. So far, police don't have a motive or suspect description, but they did arrest 1 person. Coming up in 30 minutes, find out why. Live in North Tulsa, Lauren Partain, Tulsa's Channel 8.
Well, this morning we've learned that a woman who was found strangled near Union High School has died. Police initially found 19-year-old Kelsey Tennant unconscious at the Somerset Apartments near Union yesterday. Officers believe 42-year-old Gregory Epperson is responsible. Police say her boyfriend walked in and found Epperson burglarizing the apartment and that Epperson assaulted him. No word on how the boyfriend is doing. Epperson is in jail without bond. Investigators are looking into whether the victim knew Epperson.
Police still looking for several possible suspects after a man is shot and killed in the parking lot of a North Tulsa convenience store. It happened near Apache and Yale about 3:30 yesterday. Police say the victim was shot outside the Apache Food Mart before running to a nearby house for help. He later died at a hospital. Witnesses say they heard a number of gunshots. Also breaking overnight, police looking for the people who shot up a house in North Tulsa. It was around 1 o'clock at a house near Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard and 51st Place North. The man living there says he heard some rustling outside the house before those shots were fired. 4 or 5 bullets hit the house but didn't hit anyone. Police found shell casings in a drainage culvert nearby, but no suspects. A developing story this morning. After a week of intense scrutiny, we're learning that Oklahoma State Senator Ralph Shorty will be resigning by tomorrow.
His attorney confirmed that resignation last night, saying Shorty will be arraigned on child prostitution charges by the end of the week. Police said that Shorty used online messaging apps to set up a sexual encounter with a teenager. They arrested him earlier last week after finding him with a teenager in a hotel room along with drugs. Right now, Shorty is suspended from the Senate.
We're going to be continuing to follow this story and bring you any updates on air and online at KTUL.com. Also, be sure to have your mobile phone and KTUL app handy. We'll send you a notification when Shorty's resignation is official. Our app is available now in your app store. New information now in breaking news you saw last night at 5. Police arrest 2 women after a toddler is dropped off at a Tulsa hospital with severe brain injury.
The boy's mother, Keyshawn Brown, and Dominic Smith are accused of child neglect. Investigators say it was Smith who left the unconscious 2-year-old at the Hillcrest ER yesterday. She's also accused of child abuse by injury. Police also want to talk to Johnny, also known as Javon Smith, about what happened. The child is in critical condition this morning. Today, the man charged with killing his South Tulsa neighbor will go back to court. Stanley Majors is due for a district court arraignment for the murder of Khalid Jabara. Police say the killing was racially driven. Previous court dates have been pushed back without reason, and last month, the judge over the case stepped away. Majors intends to use insanity as a defense at trial after undergoing testing to see if he's competent to go to trial. Police say he shot and killed Jabara after bombarding his family with insults for years. He's pleading not guilty.
Several families wondering what's next after a fire tears through their apartment. 2 units destroyed in the fire at the Avondale apartments near 68th and Trenton yesterday evening. Others suffered smoke, water damage. Nearly 70 others left without electricity. Fortunately, no one hurt. Red Cross is helping the families find temporary housing. The cause is still under investigation. And we want to make sure that you're aware of a waterline project that's taking place in South Tulsa tomorrow. City crews will be working along South Elwood Avenue from West 91st Street to West Jones Avenue near the airport tomorrow. The street's going to be closed to traffic while crews install a 12-inch water line. That road is expected to reopen on Friday.
Right now, firefighters battling wildfires in northwest Oklahoma are close to having them contained. The fires are about 94% contained, but the fire danger near the Panhandle is still near critical. Things could get out of control again quickly. The 4 fires have burned more than 800,000 acres in Oklahoma and Kansas, killed thousands of livestock, and destroyed several buildings. Now, because of the lingering dry and windy conditions, Creek County is now under a burn ban. County commissioners made that decision yesterday. It continues through next Monday.
And not only Creek County, but Latimer County was added to that burn ban list yesterday. Here's a look. Those counties that you see in red, that's where burn bans are in effect. And it's a significant portion of green country. But really, I wouldn't recommend burning for anyone outside today, especially north of I-44, where the wind is going to be a little bit stronger and the relative humidity is going to be a little bit lower. And those are the conditions that we typically see fire danger start to pick up. We do have a cold front starting to work its way across the area. This is an extremely slow-moving cold front, so it's going to take a long time for it to make it through our area. Just behind that cold front in parts of southeastern Kansas, there's a little bit of showers and storms this morning. Not in our area, though, very quiet, but it is kind of smoky and hazy this morning, especially across the Tulsa metro. Some wildfire smoke being blown up from parts of Pittsburgh and Haskell County, where they had a large fire yesterday, still burning right now. 65 in Wagner, 52. That is by far and away our cool spot this morning. 68 in McAllister and 61 in Wilburton. We're going to be stuck with the smoke and haze through the morning hours. It's likely going to linger into the afternoon too, at least until we can get the wind direction in Tulsa to turn out of the north and kind of change direction so that we don't have to have the wildfire smoke blowing up from the south. 78 by the time we get to this afternoon, so just a little bit cooler than what we saw yesterday. And it's going to be warmer down to the south of I-40, where that cold front's not going to quite make it through the area yet today. 86 in Muskogee, 89, McAllister, 83 in Tahlequah. 70s, though, the further you head up towards the north, towards the Kansas-Oklahoma border. 75 in Bartlesville, 75 Nowata, 76 in Veneta, 80 for Cleveland, 79 in Hominy, still 86 in Okmulgee. Lots of areas in the Tulsa metro sitting around that 80-degree mark, and that does include Owasso, where we'll take you hour by hour. Lower 60s this morning, cloud cover increasing throughout the day. Might see a few hours where we see some peaks of sunshine more than others, but the cloud cover by the time we get to this evening is going to be a little bit thicker, and that wind is finally going to be turning out of the north as that cold front will be passing through. Significantly cooler tomorrow on Wednesday. That cool spell is going to be very brief. 70s by the end of the week. 508 right now, you're looking at 244 and 169. Did see a few minor delays earlier, but right now everything looks pretty clear.
508 straight ahead. Changes to airline security. New restrictions on electronics taking effect while you were sleeping.
Plus, emotions running high at Chesapeake Arena last night. More in the heated battle between the Thunder and Warriors. We'll have those highlights when we return. 9 now after 5. Welcome back, everybody. It's 11 now after 5 o'clock. Starting now, the U.S. putting a ban on certain electronic devices on airplanes. Large electronic devices not allowed in cabins on certain U.S.-bound flights. People flying from 13 countries must now check them. The ban involves airlines based in those countries, not U.S. airlines. Homeland Security is not commenting, but ABC News reports the ban likely driven by intelligence of a possible attack.
It is 5:12, still to come after an ESPN article says Kevin Durant wasn't treated fairly in his last visit to OKC. Fans decided to step up their game.
Yeah, they told the team how they really feel. Plus, we'll tell you what got the players so worked up as well. And spring is here. That means mosquitoes are going to be coming out. One town looking into technology to help combat diseases like Zika. We'll show you how it's done.
I'm noticing a lot of wasps, but this morning, here are Tech Bites first from ABC News. All right, 5:14, we are covering breaking news this morning. Tulsa firefighters investigating a deadly trailer fire in North Tulsa.
Yeah, and Channel 8's Lauren Partain, she's live near Independence, North St. Louis Avenue with the latest information. Lauren.
That's right. Police are also out here this morning. If you take a look at this trailer, you can see at least this back half is completely gone. Investigators still trying to figure out how it started. Right now, we're told they're doing tests to see if it's fuel or something else that could have started it. There is a dead body inside of there right now. They're going to work to get that out as soon as they're done with these tests and as soon as they are finished investigating, trying to figure out what happened. Firefighters tell me the call came in around 3:30 and it took about 10 to 15 minutes to put that fire out. Right now, police are knocking on doors and asking neighbors if they saw anything. We'll have another update coming up at 6. Live in North Tulsa, Lauren Partain, Tulsa's Channel 8.
All right, thank you, Lauren. And of course, we'll be following that story for you this morning. Moving on a lighter note, and Thunder not too fazed apparently by a recent article posted by ESPN saying they didn't welcome Kevin Durant back the way that they should have, because look at that. Yeah, making a little joke with the cupcake mascot hobbling around on a crutch. What's the crutch? Just like you're a baby or something?
No, knee injury.
Oh, knee injury. That's right. Oh, man, that's rough.
Oh, it's getting physical. It's getting physical. My goodness.
Yeah, definitely a tense night at the Peak last night. It really wasn't much of a game. The Warriors dominated throughout, but this is prior to a jump ball as Stephon Curry, Samaje Christian got into a shoving match. Russell Westbrook tried to break things up, and there were 4 technical fouls assessed in that very short period of time. Nobody kicked out, but the Thunder ended up losing that one like 111 to 95.
Oh.
Yeah, and the thing is, you know, Kevin Durant didn't even play, but there's this bad blood has been created basically because Steph Curry said they should have celebrated Kevin Durant's return rather than booing him, and that was still kind of an issue going into last night.
Obviously, that it was, it was tense last night.
It
for
was
sure.
Tense. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely tense. Well, officials are considering releasing some genetically modified mosquitoes in Houston. It's a part of the fight against the insects known to be carrying diseases like the Zika virus. Houston Chronicle says city leaders negotiating with a British biotech company to release these mosquitoes that have been genetically engineered to produce offspring that die. There have been no documented cases of Zika being locally transmitted in Houston. The only homegrown Zika cases in Texas have been in Cameron County on the border with Mexico.
Now, from the Oklahoma Ford Storm Center, your first warning forecast.
Well, as we get towards the end of this week, we are officially in spring now here in Green Country, and we are going to be looking at a little more active weather pattern by the end of this week as well. Now, the areas outlined in red, that's where we're expecting potentially a little bit more active weather, some strong winds, large hail, maybe an isolated tornado or two. This is going to be something that's going to evolve over the next couple of days. Right now, still seeing some pretty big differences in the data, but it's a day that you want to watch out for here over the next couple of days. Keep an eye on the forecast as we get the latest information to bring to you. It's a little bit hazy outside this morning as you look at our view of downtown Tulsa. That's thanks to the smoke in our area this morning from the wildfires down to the south. 66 in Tulsa, 67 in Bartlesville, Broken Arrow, 66 in Owasso, and 67 in Jinx. The wind is still out of the south in Tulsa. It's trying to make an easterly change as that cold front starts to move through our area, but still strongly out of the south when you head down to Eufaula and Stigler, with sustained in the teens right now. 64 by about 7 o'clock, and then we'll watch the wind stay out of the south through the morning and then change out of the northeast as we get into the afternoon. That's going to help blow some of the smoke out of the Tulsa metro and back down further to the south where the wildfires are still burning right now. 80 is where we're headed this afternoon as far as we go temperature wise. So quite the difference from yesterday, but still well above normal. 64 is our normal for this time of year. This cold front is going to be extremely slow moving throughout the day. Not going to make a whole lot of progress, but cloud cover is going to increase across the area further to the north where that cold front has already moved through this morning. That's where you'll find the cooler temperatures this afternoon. 75 in Bartlesville, 74 in Miami, but look further down to the south towards McAllister. It's still going to be in that strong southerly flow. A lot of moisture still in the area. That's where it's going to be close to 90 once again today. So unbelievable warmth further to the south of I-40. Now the chance for some scattered showers is going to increase as we head through the overnight hours. Not a lot showing up on Futurecast. We saw a few showers moving across parts of northwestern Arkansas and southwestern Missouri. Tomorrow morning, quite a bit cooler too. 49 in Tulsa, 56 in Bartlesville, 50 in Pryor, and 58 in McAllister. Quite a bit more cloud cover tomorrow morning too, and lingering through the afternoon as well. And through tomorrow afternoon, there also is going to be a chance of just a few scattered showers throughout the area. They'll be few and far between, but just keep in mind that there is a chance, not all that impressive and not going to equal really great rainfall amounts either. 60 in Tulsa, 71 McAllister, 60 in Bartlesville. That cold spell, I should say, is going to be brief as we head towards the end of the week. Thursday and Friday, 70s and decent rain chances on Friday into Saturday. The Creek Turnpike has a few minor delays as you head eastbound. This is near 64 as well as just south of 169.
Well, whether your nose is long and narrow or short and wide, you may have your ancestors' climate to thank. Pretty interesting, a study published in the genetics journal PLOS last week, anthropologists found that nose shape is formed through the temperature and humidity of the local environment. So people in colder climates who had narrower noses while living in warmer and more humid areas have wider nostrils.
Interesting.
Who knew? The way they figured this out was by studying nose measurements from South and East Asian, West African, and Northern European descents. I have no idea what that says about my nose.
Well, yeah, I started saying I was looking at your nose and my eyes. And yeah.
I know.
I think it's interesting. You know, they do all these studies and they get the DNA testing now and find out where you.
There's a study for everything, I tell you what.
Certainly is, certainly is.
521, still to come, this case is closed. Tom Brady's missing jerseys found, not where you might expect. We'll tell you if any of the suspects from his suspect board are guilty of the crime.
All right, welcome back, everybody. It's 525 as we're looking at downtown Tulsa this morning where it's currently 66 degrees. You know, this morning there's a warning about a new twist on a terrifying scam.
And they say social media is where it all started. 16-year-old Riley Ferguson says she got a call from a con artist claiming to be a paramedic and that her brother might have died in a car crash. The scammer then used the information from the first call to convince her dad that the boy was being held hostage.
He told me that if I dropped this call that he was going to kill my son.
Now, the FBI is saying that these virtual kidnappings are happening across the country and they're happening in alarming numbers. Experts believe scammers are getting information from social media, so they are warning kids and parents, be careful what you post. Fortunately, Ferguson was suspicious and called his son's cell phone and learned that he was in fact safe.
Crazy what people will do.
Yeah. 526, if you're just waking up with us, we are following several breaking news stories for you this morning.
Yeah, right now, Tulsa police and firefighters are working a deadly trailer fire in North Tulsa, plus a deadly shooting near Little Caesars, just 4 minutes to the north. What we know right now after talking with officers and who they're looking for this morning. Plus, the verdict is in how Tulsa County will likely pay for a multi-million-dollar lawsuit. We're digging up where the cash is going to come from. And taking a live look at our Creek Nation Casino Cam, another warm day, but you need to be prepared for severe weather. Returning Molly will show us what we're in store for later this week.